With 2024 almost over, we have seen a lot of new games this year. Many big releases came out, and we have a lot more big releases coming out next year. But before 2025 comes, we have a few more games releasing between now and the end of the year, so let's talk about it. And first up is LEGO Horizon Adventures, a fun and silly time where we get to explore the world of Horizon but in LEGO form. By now, most people know what LEGO games are about, and I imagine this will be very similar to the other games. And this is one of the few Sony exclusives that will be released on Nintendo Switch this year. If you're a fan of Horizon and want a less mature story in this world, then this will be perfect for you. With the recent release of Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, the world of Horizon is getting a lot of love this year. LEGO Horizon Adventures is coming out on November 14th for PlayStation and Switch. Next, we're getting Towers of Aghasba. This is an open-world fantasy with base building, exploration, and some survival elements. You'll be building villages and customizing the buildings in them, all with the goal of bringing life back to a devastated land. Now, this isn't a full release, as the game will be in early access. In early access, there will be 6 regions available and 3 different ecosystems, as well as 3 types of villages, 50 creatures to discover, and 150 decorations to craft. Even though this will be early access, it sounds like there will be a healthy amount of content available. I am very interested in seeing how this game plays. The idea of building villages that NPCs will live in is personally one of my favorite types of games. If you have any recommendations, by the way, leave them in the comments below. I'm hoping this game delivers on its premise, and Towers of Aghasba starts early access on November 19th on Steam and PlayStation. Number 3 on this list is Fantasian Neo Dimensions. This is a turn-based RPG that was originally released in 2021 on iOS and is now releasing on consoles. The design choice to use handmade physical dioramas that the character models will walk on is very interesting. It gives the game a very lifelike feel and honestly looks great. The game features some interesting area of effect attacks. These do additional damage if you line up enemies with the player casting the attacks. The composer for the soundtrack is the legendary Nobuo Uematsu, who has done a huge amount of incredible music for several of the Final Fantasy games. Personally, that alone piques my interest in this game just for the music. The game's writer has a long history with Square Enix in developing some of the original Final Fantasy games, and this is a well-seasoned team behind this game, so there's definitely a lot to be excited for. There's also some interesting backstory to the lead-up of Square Enix working to get this game added to home consoles that you should look into if you're interested. But Fantasian Neo Dimensions is releasing on December 5th. Marvel Rivals is a new 6v6 hero shooter by NetEase Games. The game definitely is targeting the Overwatch crowd and looking to give us some good other options. With the failure of Concord, it's only made me that much more skeptical of free-to-play hero shooters, but there are some interesting gameplay mechanics here. There are these team-up moves called Dynamic Hero Synergy that let teammates pull off interesting combo moves. Things like Groot and Rocket teaming up, or Spider-Man and Venom working together. There are destructible environments as well, like bridges and blowing up cover that enemies are using that give you an advantage. And I'm interested to see how expansive this really is for destructible environments. From what I could find, it looks like there will be about 26 characters on launch. I'm not sure how good or bad the monetization is going to be. We will definitely probably see a battle pass and daily tasks, but time will tell. But at least everyone will be able to download it and give it a try on launch. Marvel Rivals is releasing on December 6th on PlayStation and Xbox. Number 5 is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Remastered. This is a hack-and-slash action-adventure, and this remaster adds better graphics, updated controls, an improved camera, and a day and night cycle. The updated bosses look good, originally released on PS1 in 1999, and then on Dreamcast in 2000. These games are very nostalgic for a lot of people, but unlike a lot of remasters, I wouldn't worry about being late to this party. The story really is great, and I'm not just saying that because of nostalgia. It's an interesting world and a nice different take on vampire lore. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is releasing on December 10th. Number 6 on the list is Fairy Tail 2. This is based on the anime Fairy Tail. While this is a story retold from the anime, they are claiming a whole new original story only in the game to make it worth your time. The gameplay looks flashy and fast-paced. There are these things called mode changes that can be used to combine the powers of your allies for special attacks. There are also different gauges such as the break gauge that when full, the enemy will stop attacking and you can do massive damage to them. Support characters to help with certain strong enemies. Link attacks that seem like another big attack you can do with your allies. You also unlock powerful moves called Unison Raid when the enemy's break gauge is empty. If you're a fan of Fairy Tail, you'll probably enjoy what's here. Fairy Tail 2 is releasing on December 11th on Steam and on December 13th for consoles. Number 7 on the list is Alien Rogue Incursion. This is an action horror VR game, and this is an original story about an ex-colonial marine that finds themselves in the worst situation of fending off xenomorphs. Being a VR game, there is a real interest to see what the developers can create. Alien Isolation is well known for its horror element of hiding from a xenomorph, and I'm a little skeptical still because I'm not sure how good the xenomorph AI will be, but we will see. If they pull this off though, it could be a really great horror experience in VR. Alien Rogue Incursion will be releasing on December 19th. And we just barely missed the release of this one as it released yesterday, but I'll make an exception, and that is Slitterhead. It's made by Boca Game Studio and it's directed by Kiichiro Toyama, the creator of Silent Hill, Gravity Rush, and Siren. The monsters known as Slitterheads have very weird and horrific designs, and I love it. The gameplay is fast-paced even though this is a horror game, which will be interesting. There are blood weapons like claws and swords, but also blood guns and magical abilities as well, but also you're jumping between human bodies to fight the Slitterheads and traverse through the city. Slitterheads released on November 8th. There's still some titles to release before year's end. Let me know if you're excited about any of these titles. I stuck specifically with games that would have a PlayStation release, but there's still plenty more out there, and subscribe for more PlayStation content. Thanks for watching.